You ever have a moment when everything you thought you knew about your marriage, your partner, your own worth, just flips inside out in a single night? I did. I'm not talking about a silly argument or the slow drift most people imagine. I'm talking about your husband walking out, marrying his dream girl before the ink on your divorce is even dry, and then realizing the real secret is staring you right in the face, hidden under all that perfection. I'm Rachel, 36. Ordinary, I guess. I've lived in Oak Ridge, Colorado most of my life. Nice town, not too noisy, just close enough to Denver to feel the city buzz, but far enough away to pretend everything's fine. My marriage to David. Yeah, on paper, it looked great. 8 years. No kids, no drama, a tiny third-floor apartment with a view of nothing special. I worked as an accounting assistant at a medical supply company, brought home half the rent. David? Sales manager at a fancy real estate firm. He looked the part. Tailored shirts, that smug grin, hair always just right, a cologne you could smell 3 rooms away. People would say, "Oh, Rachel, you're so lucky." If only they knew how cold our place got, even with the heat cranked up. Some nights I'd walk in from work, find David on the phone, laptop open, dinner ignored. He'd say, "Already ate," like I was just background noise. But I'm stubborn. I kept trying. The night everything shattered, I'd spent hours preparing. It was our anniversary, and his birthday. I'd saved up for his favorite red wine, learned a recipe for Wagyu short ribs I found on YouTube, decorated the balcony like a Pinterest board. I even ordered a cake with "Happy Birthday and Anniversary, David," piped in perfect blue letters. I put on a dress, even curled my hair, sat down at 7, 7:30, 8, lit the candles at 8. 9, I sent a text. "I'm waiting." 9:30, I called, voicemail. Finally, at 10:35, I got an email. "Sorry, big client emergency, staying at the office, rain check." No thank you, no love you, just cold, dead pixels on a screen. That's when I knew. I'd lost something, but I wasn't sure what. I cleaned up, boxed the untouched ribs, turned off the lights, and stood there, napkins still in my hand. I didn't even cry. It was like my heart just slid out of place. The next morning I pretended nothing happened. Drove to work, head down, praying for a distraction. But David didn't text, didn't call. It was like I'd been erased from his world. By lunchtime, I couldn't take it. I called his office. The receptionist paused. Too long. Then, "Oh, David left the company 3 days ago. Sorry, no forwarding info." The floor dropped out. I rushed home, hands shaking, almost ran 3 red lights. When I walked in, the shoe rack had a glaring empty space. His favorite brown loafers were gone. I called out, "David?" No answer. I found him in the bedroom, suitcase open, clothes thrown in without a thought. New suit, tie, pair of dress shoes with tags still on. Not his style, not for any regular day. "What are you doing?" My voice was barely there. He didn't even look up. "You're back early," he said, flat as a board, just kept packing. "Where are you going?" "New Mexico. I took a new job in Santa Fe, start next week." He dropped a folder on the nightstand. Divorce papers, like a transaction. "You're not the wife I need, Rachel." "Excuse me? You always put work first. The apartment's dusty. You only cook on weekends. You stopped caring about me." I just stared at him, speechless. "Are you kidding me? You never eat at home, you tell me not to touch your stuff, and now it's my fault?" He just shrugged. "You chose that." The whole thing felt like a bad movie. "You're just leaving?" I blocked the door. He barely even stopped. "I don't owe you anything," he said, and just walked out. Door slammed like a gunshot. I dropped to the floor, holding those divorce papers, hands numb, all that effort, all those years, just gone. A couple days later, building management called. We got a request to transfer the lease. Current leaseholder says the person left will move out by the end of the month. I laughed, one of those sad, ugly laughs. He just left a note. No discussion, no goodbye. That night, I rummaged through the desk, found the furniture receipts. Every damn thing was in my name except his clothes and a few gadgets. I kept staring around, realizing I had a full apartment but no marriage. I didn't sign the papers right away. They sat on the table for 3 days, like a bruise that hadn't turned purple yet. Saturday night, an old classmate texted about a high school reunion at a brewery downtown. I almost skipped it, honestly. What was the point? But when I looked in the mirror, hair a mess, eyes puffy, but still me, I figured, why not? Maybe I just needed to prove to myself I could still show up. The brewery was loud. Too many people pretending they hadn't changed. I found Nathan, an old friend from band. He'd been divorced 3 years, raising his little girl alone. We talked about nothing and everything, sitting in the corner, swapping stories nobody else would understand. At one point he asked about David. I just said, "We're getting divorced." Nathan nodded. No pity. I almost wanted to hug him for that. Driving home, radio blasting, I finally let myself feel it all. Anger, relief, shame. The truth is, I'd been a ghost in my own life, always excusing David, always making myself smaller. Sunday morning, my phone buzzed. David. I told the leasing office you'd be out by the end of the month. You should start packing. I finally snapped. You ever think to ask if I have somewhere to go? You're an adult. Figure it out. That was it. I put the mug down, said, "Fine, I'll sign, and don't ever call me again." He didn't respond. I signed my name, steady, clear, no more second chances, no more waiting. Exactly a week later, close to midnight, David emailed me with the subject, "Proof." I clicked. Photo of a marriage certificate, his name, her name, Samantha Whitmore. Date, the day after our divorce went through. He called before I could even process. "You saw it, right? I got remarried. Life's never been better." I listened, barely breathing. She's amazing, Samantha. She's 36 like you, but she actually knows how to be a wife. Her family owns half of Santa Fe. They bought us a house, set me up at her dad's company. She's pregnant, Rachel, 3 months. Each word cut a little deeper, but there was nothing left to bleed. After he hung up, I got curious. Samantha Whitmore. Something about the name. I searched her on Facebook. First photo, flawless, platinum hair, sharp blue eyes, perfect smile. But then I scrolled down, found an old photo, and nearly dropped my phone. Samantha Whitmore was Sam Ellis, awkward, shy, teased for her skin and nose in high school. I remembered her bunny teeth. Back then, nobody gave her the time of day. Now, thanks to New York surgeons, she was unrecognizable. I called my best friend Lauren. "Do you remember Sam Ellis?" Lauren burst out laughing. "Remember? I still have yearbook photos. Why?" I told her everything. The marriage, the new wife, the house, the job. Lauren didn't seem shocked. She always knew how to pick the right person. Strategic, quiet, kind of cold. Heard she dated an old architect, then moved back. New face, new name, new life. That night, I stared at the wedding photo David had sent. The world saw glitter, but I saw the old secrets under all that foundation. A week later, David messaged, "Rachel, are you free? Need to talk. Serious." I ignored him. Then the phone rang. He jumped right in. "Samantha had the baby, girl, but she doesn't look like me, or Samantha." I almost laughed. "Maybe she takes after your side." He sounded desperate. "No, I thought that. But Rachel, remember when you found my high school photos? Did you know?" I smiled, a little cruel. Yeah, I did. You changed everything, nose, jaw, teeth, but DNA doesn't care about surgery, David. He went quiet. You think I'm ashamed? I think you tried to build a life on something fake. Now your daughter's the only real thing in it. He choked up. Samantha can't look at the baby. Her mom has to take over. I don't know what to do. My heart broke a little. For the kid, not them. You once told me I failed as a wife. Maybe think about the parent you're being now. Don't put your shame on that little girl. I hung up, blocked his number. I was done. And that was it. The curtain dropped. I was free, finally. So, what would you have done?